The passage speaks about wedding ceremonies in particular, and then local festivities in general. These, as given in the context, are the ones which are open to all members of the community. Now, while they breed a feeling of increased social harmony, they also give rise to chances of greater disharmony, where we see that it can be a situation where past differences will be addressed and hashed out so that people can move on with their lives and look forward to a peaceful future. But that said, it is also a blood duel situation in a wedding dress. In the end, it is said that if that be the case, then what can you do? Bear it and bear it. What else can you do? These are the key aspects. Option A says marriages have the potential to become hostile situations as they may be taken as places for people to end old rivalries and feuds. This is irrelevant because it talks about marriages. While close, it still distorts the premise. We're talking about wedding ceremonies, not marriages. Marriages mean the very marriages, the relationship between the husband and the wife. While, of course, in real life, they have the potential to become hostile situations. Absolutely, quite true. That said, the passage is not about marriages, they are about wedding ceremonies and local festivities. Festivities that are open to all members of the community, and we can see that this very aspect, open to all members of the community, has not been mentioned in A. So A is clearly limited as well as distorted. Option A is out. Option B says, community festivities open to all members of the community may be a mixed blessing, although one may not be able to do anything about it. Now, this is close. It covers quite a few aspects, but it does omit the original subject, which is wedding ceremonies. Now, it does say community festivities, which connects with local festivities, open to all members of the community. That is one important aspect. Maybe a mixed blessing that we can see from here. Although breeding a feeling of increased social harmony, it can also give rise to greater disharmony, where past situations, differences can be addressed and hashed out, etc. So they may be a mixed blessing, although one may not be able to do anything about it. That is a reference to the last two statements of the passage, or the last line, last statement, last two lines of the passage. So this covers overall most everything, but it does omit wedding ceremonies, and that is what the passage is primarily about. So let us not select this or eliminate this just yet, because it does miss out one point. Let's see if we can find something better. Option C tells us wedding ceremonies should not be open to all members of the community, as that can create problems which one is helpless to avoid. This is clearly off. It says wedding ceremonies should not be open to all members. This suggestion that wedding ceremonies should not be open to all members, that is not part of the premise. That has not been mentioned in the passage. The passage says that wedding ceremonies that are open to all members of the community, they can cause social harmony, but also disharmony. So mixed blessings was anyways much better constructed. In option B, C distorts in the suggestion that the local festivities or wedding ceremonies should not be open to all members. So C is definitely not the answer. Option D says community festivities which are open to all community members may turn into violent situations where one is unable to effect any changes. Now we realize that it's a very close fight between B and D, where B and D are very similar, but then they cover most of the same aspects. There's one difference, which is D says these festivities may turn into violent situations, while B says that these may be a mixed blessing. Here we find that violent situations is, while it is not directly mentioned in the passage, it can be inferred from hashed out past differences, also a blood duel in a wedding dress. So we can infer this, but this is a smaller part. This leaves out one major aspect, which is that these can also cause greater harmony. See the statement here. Although breeding a feeling of increased social harmony, it also gives rise to chances of greater disharmony. So harmony and disharmony are both possibilities, which makes it closer to a mixed blessing, or it makes the phrasing maybe a mixed blessing closer to the passage. So in comparison between these two, while these two are very close, B is better. It's a more directly connected option, or rather a summary to the passage. So by comparison, we can eliminate D, we can qualify B. That is the correct answer.